didn't bring any of the things with me, so it's okay.
It's going to be a light week, but it's the last week of the
They
month.
can stretch out anything. Traffic is getting a little heavier each day. I mean, still, compared to what it takes usually to get here from my house, it's nothing, but it's a whole different world than 3-4 weeks ago.
Like after 9/11 and flying, you know, the first week they allowed flying after 9/11. I went on an airplane. I was the only passenger on the whole plane. There was like 6 people. So I had a speech to give. And, you know, 3 weeks later, there were lines, you know, a mile outside the airport to catch a plane.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the last week or so, but I feel like I should be buying airplane tickets for someplace. They were so cheap a few weeks ago. You know, it just feels like you should be buying them for the future. All right, I think, let's see, how many got? 34, a little late, but we'll get started anyhow. All right, if you're not, put on mute. If you have any questions, just take off mute and ask. So good morning. I hope everybody had a great holiday weekend. As you can see, we have a guest, Dave Hirschman, Senior Vice President of Sales for Weichert Financial. So I'm going to speak to a few minutes about what went on this weekend business-wise, the Zoom call last week, some thoughts on those things, some ideas that Jacinta and I have going forward. Then we'll go to the slides. This is it. It's 10. We're off this by 10:45, I promise. And then I'll let Dave go fairly early on, so he doesn't have to hang out if he doesn't want to. So a couple things. It was a really, really unbelievable weekend for us. I'm expecting somewhere between 8 and 10 contracts to come in today. Some people, I mean, I don't know if Jen Bartwissel's on. Jen had 2 contracts. I see Nicole's on. Nicole did 2 rentals and converted a Weichert network that she got on Friday and sold them against 5 other contracts over the weekend. Congratulations, Nicole. I don't know if Jen Collins is on. So I don't know if you remember, about 3 weeks ago, I was speaking to how you have to be willing to go out and get the business, and then and the things you do that make you different than everybody else. About 3-4 weeks ago, Jen Collins ran into a builder who had 2 listings in Arlington at 1.7 each, new construction. They were with a team, the Kerry Scholl team, for 6 months. No price reduction, no staging, no conversations, no nothing. When Jen came to me, she, we're just brainstorming whether take it, don't waste time. So Jen went back strong and said, look, I'll take it, but you got to do everything I say and I'll get it sold. She reduced each one by 100,000 to 1.59. She made and spent, I think, 8 or 9 grand on staging. We did an exclusive for 2 weeks. She activated it Friday, I believe, and she did a limited open house. They're vacant, obviously, they're new. A limited open house this weekend on Sunday. She stood out front. She had John Ripley and Alex St. Clair there with her. They were in the house. It was limited access. They had like 20 people come through. She sold the house at full price at 1.59 with 2 offers. After another company had it for 6 months sitting there at 1.7. So it just makes me think you got to be out in front on these things. You have to be, you have to know what you're doing. You have to show what you do is different. I mean, it's just really says a lot for what happened there. Literally, she had it on the market 6 days or 5 days, something like that, and got full price offer for it. So congratulations to Jen. That was exciting. On top of that, I know of at least another 6-7 contracts. I know Christine has 2. So there's contracts all over the place. So it was a very busy weekend, listings as well. I wanted to touch base on the Zoom meeting, the company-wide Zoom meeting. There was about 14 or 15 of you on there. Thank you so much. I think they're going to do that each week for the time being. I think they'll probably tighten up the time on it. But I think I in the video I sent, which I hope didn't come across negative, I try to be positive, But from that meeting, and some of these people are online here, I wouldn't mind if they jump in. I know of 14 leads that were generated from those phone calls. Okay. I don't know if Sandy's on. Sandy, if you're on, I can't see everybody on the call. If you are, try to. Sandy, who's one of our bigger agents, a busy agent. As we're doing this call, she's texting me saying, Mark, this call is just what I needed to get me in gear. She was calling in her case, she was calling Sphere. She created 2 listing appointments for those phone calls. There was 6 or 7. I know Hunter got a lead. I know John Ripley, if he's on, if he wants to jump in, got 2 leads. Diane Misla, who joined us from the Fairfax office. There's Diane, wave Diane. Diane, I think, told me the next day that some of the calls she made, one of her past clients called her with an appointment. A bunch of you, not a bunch, but a group of you went on the White Good Lead Network private call sessions, which was, if any of you want to speak up, it's so easy to do. And that produced 6 or 7 leads right there. So I would just say, like I said in the video, these things work, okay? It's not a pressure. Nobody's listening to you. It was, for those who are on here, I wouldn't mind if you jump on. It was fun. It was a lot of kidding going on. It was yeah, Leslie.
I just want to jump in. I only made 20 calls from the White Good Lead Network people. 3 of those people had bought. 1, 2, and 3 years ago, they had bought, so somebody wasn't contacting them. I had 2 leads that were good enough to add to my contact leads in the CRM, and I did hear back from one who was looking in Old Town. The other one is downsizing from Reston, and he is definitely going to be downsizing after all of this is over. So 2 good leads, just a few minutes on the phone.
Right. I mean, look, guys, this is what we do. We're in the lead generation business. And if you're busy as heck, don't worry about it. But if you're not, I don't understand why you wouldn't jump on. And like I said, it was fun. It'll probably be again this Thursday. You don't have to stay on the whole, whatever it was, 2-3 hours, jump on for 20 minutes, 15, whatever it is, just to get a feel for it. Josh Wilton usually heads it up. He's the RVP out of Jersey. He's a character. By the way, our region won of all the regions with 142 leads. And the leads were anything, whether it was a listing lead, a buyer lead, for me, making phone calls, a recruiting lead, all those leads counted, and our region won that. So congratulations. Thanks to those on. Anybody out here want to add anything about that? Those calls or anything like that? Or Jen, were you on when I was talking about your listing that went under contract? Oh, you missed all the kudos, my friend. But I told them how it went. Tell them how you did that open house, your first live open, how it went with the vacant and how you were careful.
Oh, sure. We put out signs outside the house in front, both the front and the back door. So we directed people around to the front if they came through the back, because both of the properties are off an alleyway. I was out front with a sign-in sheet, so we were able to kind of capture names. It's kind of hard to do too much more than that. And then John Ripley and Alex St. Clair were taking people through the individual houses. We asked them to wait to be invited in. We opened all the doors for them and led them around. It really did go very well. My dogs are barking in the back. I don't know if you can hear them. Very smoothly. It was fun. It was actually really fun. People respected wearing masks. We didn't ask people to remove their shoes. We encouraged gloves. We all wore gloves. It was totally worth it, obviously. I didn't hear what you said because I jumped on late, but it was fun.
Yeah, I told them the story from start to finish, how that was started out as probably not to you, saying this is what, if you want me to do it, this is what, all the steps you took to get to sold yesterday. So congratulations.
Not sold yet, almost, but a lot, thank you. A lot of social media. And I think that had something to do with it. Yeah, it was really fun, and we got to know the neighbors too. And this weird guy came and sat on the porch for a while.
yeah, and the buyer wrote a really great letter.
Yeah, really.
He was very strange. Yeah,
and then Alex was there. Yeah, and again, it sat for 6 months. She got 2 offers yesterday. Yeah. I mean, just shows you pricing, how important pricing is. Yes. How important to make sure it looks a certain way. She staged it. Anyhow, I don't go too far about that. And to Leslie's point about the first 2 she called. I've told you many times, every time we do research, which probably drives Jim Weichert crazy, 36% of the people we call a year later on Weichert said they bought something. That means an agent who received it never did what we say. Follow up until they, kill you or you kill them. Just keep following up. So congratulations on that. Anybody else want to jump in on any of that from the weekend? John Ripley, are you on? Is he on? All right, he's not on. He got a couple leads from that. I'm not sure if Alex got some. So again, it was just a very busy weekend, exciting. We are actually ahead of last May. Okay, so probably not, to the number, the goal where we want to be, but we're probably by the time the day ends, we'll be at about 42, 43 contracts. So that's congratulations to you guys. It's amazing that with what's going on that we're there, but it's just terrific. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, always throw a little legal thing in there. As these things come up, I just remind everybody, keep in mind, this whole thing with fraud and wire scamming and all that, just always tell your client, remember to tell your clients when you're in a transaction, if they ever get anything from anybody they don't recognize, from a title company, from a lender, hey, send us it. It's always no. Always call you or the lender directly or to confirm it. Never, ever, I know most of us know that now, but every time something comes up, it reminds me to bring it up. So just always keep that in mind. There's so much of that going on today. And I know for a lot of us think, well, who would do that? You'd be surprised. So just always keep in mind to, advise your clients in this transaction. Anything you get, if it is not somebody you spoke to personally before and recognize, the lender, the agent, don't send it. So I just want to touch base on that. So I was talking with, let me see if there's anything else first. Jacinda about what we can do. So, a lot of you use my Weichert and doing wonderful. A lot of you don't. I have access to see when you signed in, when you did, and when's the last time you've been on it. So in discussing with Jacinta and the company in whole, so I think for a lot of us, a little overwhelming at first, or there was errors in the beginning. Once I know there's errors, then people don't want to go back and do it. So we decided that we're going to go back and we're going to start working with small groups, okay? And we're going to start from scratch on getting some of their contacts in there, 5, 10, 15, and what to do with them step by step. We're going to do that on probably Zoom meetings at first, 5 at a time, to get people engaged and to try to get you into it to increase your business. Because the people who do use it have increased their business. It's just so few of you are that we feel that maybe if we take a step back and we go with small groups and we do that. So in the days to come, Jacinta and I will reach out to the first group and start that process and just do it step by step to see if we can get some campaigns or some things generated. And Jacinta will do all the heavy lifting to make sure it all goes the way it should go. So we just think everybody should take the opportunity to go back if you didn't do it and do it. Again, it's just, I don't know if you read any of the Good News Weichert stuff that gets posted and all the things. There's just so many good stories, even in our own office, whether it's Dave Ingram, who also, by the way, was on that call and got multiple leads from the call on Thursday. So we're going to start that real soon. All right, to keep on time here, go to the slides. Let me go over some slides real quick, and then I'll give it over to Dave, and that's it. All right. Oh, can you do them as slides?
Yeah,
Slideshow, bottom right. There you go. All right, happy anniversary. Suki, 6 years. Pilar, 2 years. I don't think either one of them are on, but happy anniversary. Pilar might be on. Birthdays, Deb Ingram's birthday, May 28th, Nadia on the 29th, and Rick Lane on May 31st. So happy birthday to you guys. Next slide. Oh, so you already know Dave Hirschman, Senior Vice President of Sales, Weichert Financial, is here. Oh, my mistake. The sales belong next to the VP. All right, Dave is going to speak in a few minutes. Next slide. So again, we continue to do fairly well with the virtual opens. We had 16 virtual opens with 330 guests. So thank you all for continuing with that. And I would encourage you, because I'm telling you, when we get through all this, this should become part of your business. Not just Saturday or Sunday, Monday through Friday, weeknights. You should find the market and do this. Especially when it's over, if a lot of people stop doing it, you'll stand out. So I would take this as part of what you offer to your clients in the future as well. All right, next slide. Last week's sale listings, 5 listings, a couple 2.6 million, so an average of 530. 11 sales last week, average of 700,000, so 7.2 million. And like I said, from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm expecting either 9 or 10 contracts today. So big weekend, very good. MBA, we continue to move forward in our all-into-one roof. Listen, 5 buyer control sales and 5 MBH titles means they all went there. Okay, Weichert Financial, we're still one of the leaders in the company in that. I'm sure you all see Rich and Fred week in and week out getting 5-star reviews. I talked last week about some of the most recent deals that they saved, particularly a big one for Suki, 1.2 million. It was about to die she represented the buyer that Fred and Rich saved on that one. And Weichert Insurance also doing well too. So next slide. So on that note, you can't, well, it's behind the thing, but we were number 1 in the, I didn't put up all the slides. We're in the top 5 in almost every category, top 3. I didn't want to take more time, but in title, to my point of every week, it seems like all the buyer control sales are going to title. We were at 126% of goal in title. So we're just like crushing it in title. You guys are amazing. I take no credit for that. You guys are amazing. Of course, Ryan Stewart and his team are amazing. So congratulations to you guys. Just off the charts with that, in almost every category as well. Always in Weichert Financial, we do a great job. Take no credit for that. Rich and Fred are amazing. And insurance, Lalani. So I just reap the benefit of everybody doing such a great job. So you guys are amazing. Next slide. Yeah, do you want to say something, Dave?
Yeah, I was going to say, what a great, handsome picture.
Oh, that's my, go back a slide. Somebody created, that's my like game show host slide or news anchor slide. If I ever, I don't know how, somebody created, I don't know how they did, somebody photoshopped that for sure, I think. Even the hairline was a little better then. All right, go ahead. Yeah, that's the numbers I used last week were actually better. It had Alexandra separated out. These numbers were put out by, I think, Chris Anthony in the region. But it shows the same thing. Most places, most market areas are down substantially. They also made a typo. It's year over year, 2019 to 20, not 20 to 20. But the listings are down quite a bit. You can see in Arlington, 18%, Fairfax, 36%, Loudoun, 30%, Montgomery, 47%. But on the other side of it, obviously the prices are up. 3%, Fairfax 8%, Loudoun County 9%, and Montgomery County 7%. And obviously sold listings are down because listings are down 25%, 20%. Loudoun's only down 3%, and Montgomery County 11%. And sale prices, average sales price are on their way up. 4%, 8%, 10%. It's behind my thumbnail, so I can't see the average days on market. But some of these, are like, a couple days, and at 102% of the list price. Again, it's behind my slide, but we're going to send all these slides out. Next slide. I think I put the next one in because I had Prince George's and some of our agents, do business there. Again, listings down 32%, price up 11, list price up 11%, sold listings down 13, and sales price up 12%. So kind of what we've been seeing anyhow. And again, people who have to buy are out there and people who have to sell are out there. I think Jen Collins had 20 sets of people come through her house. Other ones that had contracts over the weekend, 16, 17, 18 people going through. People who are writing contracts, like Nicole, I know, she was up against 5 or 6. She hasn't, I haven't got a chance to speak to her directly, see how they won out, but they won out. So that's terrific. So a lot of that's still going on. All right, what's next slide? Oh, so this is just to congratulate you guys. So the exclusive listings, right, that we move forward with, which again, big success. Some of you made some extra money to whatever, 50, 150. We actually were second in the whole company in exclusive listings so far. When this was, so far with the Wilton's region did 47, we did 44, and everybody else is a far second, third, fourth. So you guys really, congratulations. You took to it, and you've done a wonderful job with it. You got to do me a favor on that note. You got to, once you know it's either active in the MLS or under contract at least, send Carol a note, because we got to pull them off there. There's nothing built into it to pull them off. So we got to be able to manually, which we'll do. We'll do it for you, or Jacinta will do it, but we got to know about it. Don't want to have an exclusive on there that you've sold last week. Again, probably should take them off when you go active, but at least when you have a contract on it, let us know and we'll pull it off the exclusive and continue to do them. I mean, we have some success stories with those. I think, I don't remember this week, but the week before we sold 2 of our own listings in-house. So that was great. All right, just wanted to share that. So congratulations again to you guys for really stepping up and helping me out with that. It's a phenomenal job. All right, next slide. Next one. So remember, the absorption rates and the sales meeting slides, Carol will send out, and Jacinta's posting to our intranet site, because a couple agents asked us to do that. So she'll post those things there each week as well. Next slide. We'll do these real quick. No. Let's do Dave first. Let Dave go, and then we'll go back and do the coming soons and all that, and we'll finish up. All right, Dave.
How's it going? Did you have our sales meeting slides in here, or?
Did you send anything?
Yeah.
Who'd you send them to?
You?
Carol.
Me.
We
got
sent
the
'em.
slides.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. I've got a
I
memo.
was going to ask you, but I figured if you had slides, you would send them.
Well, we sent them to Carol.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rich and Fred slides?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I apologize. I think yes, it's Jacinta. Go forward to Wyckoff Financial.
If you want
something
to
separate you sent.
If you want to go through the other slides first, no problem. So
No. Go ahead. You go ahead. I can finish up fast on mine. Yeah, you got me nervous. I thought you sent something separate I didn't see.
No, that's all right. That's all right. First of all, I want to, just say hello to everybody. And I wanted to take just one moment to thank you guys for your support for Rich and Fred, and also for the job Rich and Fred does. You guys may not know this, or maybe you do know this or not, but Mark talks about our capture rate for the region and our support and so forth. But Rich and Fred are not only the leaders of the region, but they're the leaders of the company when it comes to production, and also top producers nationally ranked as well. So I want to thank you guys for your support, and I want to thank Rich and Fred for the job they do day in and day out. These 5-star reviews that they get, they don't grow on trees. They're the result of the hard work and relationships that they have built. So I guess next slide. Want to do just a quick market update of what's going on. Existing home sales were down sharply in April, but met market's expectation, as Mark has already pointed out, that sales are already rebounding. So it looks like April's going to be sort of the bottom of the market of what happens this year. And as states are easing restrictions, and keep in mind, a lot of the numbers you see are national numbers. And of course, Mark already put some local numbers down there in the Washington area, because we have more of a government and government service-based economy. We tend to outpace the nation in that regard. The biggest numbers are going to be released next week. Do not get scared by it, but unemployment is expected to rise to close to 20%. Again, that is nationally. It doesn't mean necessarily that's locally as well, but the market is already anticipating this number. And again, this is looking like it's going to be the bottom of the market, and things should start getting better as states open up. It's really unprecedented to have such a stoppage. We call it a light switch economy. We turn the light off in 1 month, and when it starts going back up, it's going to start going back up dimmer. Unlike the last recession, where real estate really led us into recession, this particular recession, we're expecting real estate to lead us out of recession. Rates, and one of the reasons why real estate is expected to be strong, of course, is rates continue to hover near historic lows. That means affordability is up, and it's a great time to refinance. I wanted to remind the agents and people, Weichert employees, including agents, get a 0.5 point discount, and we can also refi your clients, friends, and family. It's a strange market. It's not an even market. As rates go down, and they are near historic lows, record lows, some of the programs like jumbos, especially in your area, are not moving down like others. The jumbo market, the non-QM market, which includes, non-approved condos and things like that, those are expected to come back a little more slowly, but at the same time, they are expected to come back. This is a matter of months, not a matter of years. Next slide. This is a new guidance that has come out from Fannie and Freddie. Basically, what if somebody goes in forbearance? We're talking a tremendous amount, millions and millions of people are going into forbearance because it's allowed. It's allowed. And what's interesting is a good portion of the people that are going in forbearance are doing it as an insurance policy. They're actually requesting forbearance, but continuing to make their payments. So what Fannie and Freddie is saying is, if they go into forbearance but continue to make their payments, they're eligible to refi or purchase a home. If they do stop making their payments and then they start again under a new plan, instead of having to wait a year to be able to qualify for a loan, they're only going to have to wait 3 months. Now, that being said, one of the things I wanted to point out is, if you're advising your clients, you should advise your clients, if they are able to not only make their payments, but not go into forbearance. Because this is a best case scenario, what Fannie and Freddie's saying. I know they're not supposed to include it in their credit, but when this thing is over, there's going to be a tremendous amount of people with mistakes on their credit report, with all sorts of issues. And if they can stay away from forbearance, they should stay away from forbearance. Rich and Fred will tell you how much time they spend correcting credit reports that have errors on there. Rich and Fred, you want to mention something about that? How much time you guys spent cleaning things up so you can get a loan in, half the time?
Yeah, way too much.
Way too much time. So whatever you can do, advise people to stay away from forbearance if they don't need it. It should be a choice of last resort. It should not be an insurance policy. Next slide.
We actually have somebody right now. They actually called regarding forbearance. They actually didn't request to be put in forbearance, and they actually got put in forbearance, and it showed up on their credit report, even though they signed nothing. So they have to call now and fix that.
Yep, and we're going to have, just when this is over, we're going to have a huge mess on credit reports. I can just see it, and it's going to be a lot of fun, which is another reason, by the way, you want to get your pre-approvals to Rich and Fred as early as possible. Even if they already have a pre-approval, send them to Rich and Fred for another opinion, because these credit reports are changing, loan program guidelines are changing, best practices during this period is make sure the experts see these reports and can start working on them so that you can get your contracts written. Just quickly, I wanted to mention I did a mobile app webinar a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully some of you guys were on there. You know, we're on Zoom today, and I think Zoom's going to be part of our lives after this is over. And I'm hoping, you know, there's a lot of technology that we're going to be used. A lot of people have not used the mobile app regularly. This is something that is a tool you really want to use, you know, in your business model going forward. It could be co-branded for you guys. We can link the app to your MyWycott website so they can tap here and start your new home search. And here's the point. If they go to a virtual open house, you share the app with them or something. If 6 months from now, they start, you know, fooling around with the calculator, Rich and Fred will be notified. So you're going to get intel on your prospects, you know, that you would not get otherwise, which is really, you know, really invaluable. I think somebody mentioned at the beginning that the Wyckoff Lead Networks, she saw that 3 of those people had already bought. Well, it's because it's hard to keep track of people 6, 7, 8 months down the road. This is a tool that's going to help you do that. Okay, next slide. And we're going to be redoing the webinar next one. I mentioned pre-approvals. I'm not going to add this again. Just, you know, if somebody's already pre-approved, you need still to get them to Rich and Fred. You just don't know what could happen in this environment. Next slide. Don't have Rich and Fred's quote up here, but at the same time, we got ours in recently for last month. 99% basically support and would refer Wyckoff Financial. I'm going to give a quote from Rich that just came in. Rich was always available when I had questions, and he worked hard to get me the best rate on my mortgage. He explained the entire process to me as a first-time home buyer. So great job. Continue to do a great job. And I think the last slide is our trivia question, I believe, right? And so the trivia question is, how much nationally, again, have existing home prices gone up in the last 12 months? I would like you guys to maybe put it up in the, you know, in the chat. What do you guys got as an answer? I got B, 5%. I got C, 7.5%. I got C, 7.5% from Leslie. Okay. And the answer is 7.5%. So even in this environment, and this is evidence of the fact that the real estate market remains strong, that there's a lot of demand out there. And again, that's nationally. I think our area is outperforming the nation as well. Before I sign off, I want to make sure that I get your questions answered. Rich and Fred, anything you want to add at all to what I said today?
No, but thanks for coming, Dave. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Mark, thank you for the invite.
Thanks so much,
want to
Dave.
open it up if anybody has any questions for me on the market, what's happening out there. You know, I know I went through things rather quickly, but, you know, I know Mark wants to get out of here, you know, so that he can go motorcycle riding today, right?
Now I want to get out because I promise him every week I'm going to do this in 30 minutes, and every week I take more than an hour.
Well, I helped you do that today, that's for sure.
All right, any big questions? Just shout them out. Everybody gets it? All good? All right.
Thank you
Hey,
again,
thank you
guys.
so much, Dave. Really appreciate everything you do. Thanks, Rich, Fred. All right, so now we're just gonna go through the things so we're gonna go through the things coming up, just listed. Go ahead, next slide. Oh, we went out of order, yeah. Yes. We'll finish up there, but the slides that follow, and I've said it many weeks in a row, even though I don't stop and go through the sales power hour all the time, some of the stuff's amazing. The one today is on how to first analyze and create a niche market, and then how to set up squeeze pages for it. Now, Jacinta is also teaching these things as well. But those slides that follow, I am telling you, some of you are going to other companies and paying to learn what we're giving you step by step by step that you're not reading. So, and of course, Jacinta's here to help you with it all. So some of it's really amazing training. You should take advantage of it and save the slides for when you need them. All right, so we're gonna go through the coming soons, new listings, all those things. If you have something and it's not on here, just shout out at the end. Julie's actually on. So Julie, you wanna speak about Roland's Place?
Yeah, this is a really beautiful house. It's a big 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, backs to trees and a creek. It'll go on the market sort of mid-June. It's got all hardwood floors, all updated. It's out in Leesburg, so you got to go a little way to get to it. But for $585, you can get a lot of house.
All right, next slide. Oh, wait, Thursday training. Oh, okay. Who's this? Nancy. So Nancy Murphy, unless she jumped on, I think she's actually at this house. So I was a little involved with this listing. So it's in Vienna, a great location, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 3,700 square feet. Beautiful landscaping. I can't remember, I think the home's like 20 years old, but everything they've done over the years is just really first class, really beautiful. The things they've done, the windows, the hardwoods, the work they did is really high-end stuff. So great house. Next slide. Is Mary or Michael on?
I'm here.
Hi, Mary.
This is a beautiful unit. They have spent over $10,000 in built-in cabinetry and wardrobes and all that kind of stuff. The view is stunning because it's westerly, overlooking trees. You're not looking at parking lots. Great sunsets. The unit is just in mint condition. The kitchen is nicely opened up with black granite, and they've taken out as much of the wall as they can. So it's a much more open floor plan than most of the units in Montebello, including ones that have opened up the kitchen. So it'll go on the market June 1. So I guess that's it.
All right, thanks, Mary. Any questions? Okay, next one. Oh, okay, that was it. So just in case we missed anybody, you can go out of the slides, Jacinta. Just exit them all together. Go back to the regular screen. All right. So the slides that follow this are the Power Hour. Great slides there. I'd read those. Did we forget it? I mean, anybody have anything you want to ask or add about a house just coming soon, or fire needs or any of that we might have missed and not put on the slides? Just shout out or let me know you want to talk or something like that. No? We're all good there? All right, then I think, listen, guys, phenomenal weekend, great month. I really appreciate all you do. I have an important call at 3 o'clock with New Jersey. I'd like to show them that I'm crushing it. Try to send in all these deals I've been talking about all weekend with you. Get the transaction sheets into Carol, listings and contracts, and just keep it going. Thank you all for everything you do. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks, Dave.
Take care, guys.
Okay.